You know what they say, hindsight is 20/20, meaning that once something has already happened, only then do things become clear, as opposed to before or even when you're in the middle of a situation when things aren't so obvious. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some clues that were right under our noses from the very beginning, but we didn't take them seriously and connect the dots until after they came to fruition. While I really wanted to consider this a clue that we all happened to overlook back in 2017, it's actually just more of a heads up at the end of the day. But that still doesn't take away the fact that we just rolled our eyes and thought this was far-fetched at the time. I mean, LeBron wasn't even on the Lakers yet at that point. While it's still pretty crazy that Bleacher Report hinted at this years before it actually happened, what's even crazier is when an inanimate object predicts the future. Little did we know, this basketball card gave us a free glimpse into the future. What you're looking at is a 2019-2020 Panini Court Kings rookie card of Rui Hachimura. While it might seem like just a random ordinary card, in a way it predicted the next team he was going to be on. You see, sports cards usually have not only the player's name on them, but the team name as well printed somewhere on the card. While this card does in fact have the team he was with at the time on the back of it, it appears like they made a mistake on the front, because as you can see, it clearly says Lakers above his head. And last time I checked, he wasn't on the Lakers back when he was a rookie, and wasn't going to be for another few years. At the time, it was considered to be just a harmless error, but I think it's safe to say that nowadays, it can definitely be considered somewhat of an Easter egg in hindsight for what would be his next team. This has me questioning if it was even a mistake at all. Another card that has me convinced that its details were no accident is this 97-98 Skybox Metal Universe Kobe Bryant card. While I could get into how it's very suspicious that for some reason Kobe seems to be the only player from that set to have a Death Star as their background, I think it's smarter if I just focus on the card number. If you guys didn't know, each card from this set has its own individual number assigned to them to show what card that is in the set. And would you look at that, Kobe's card number is none other than 81, meaning that this card is the only one with that number on it. And it's even more crazy when you realize that this card was made way before his legendary 81-point game, almost 10 years before that game. So this makes me think that they must have intentionally tailor-made this whole design specifically for Kobe. Yes, including the background, which again, no other player from this set seems to have except for Kobe. Another example of his future already being written out way in advance can be found in this yearbook from 1992 when he was in the 8th grade. Kobe, who was just 13 at the time, was asked by one of his friends if he could sign their middle school yearbook, which he did, with the message reading, "In a few years, you probably will be dunking on me, not? How about those Lakers? Your friend Kobe Bryant, number 24. That's right, before he wore the number 33 in high school, he actually wore the number 24 in middle school, which I found to be a pretty interesting fact in and of itself. But the line he wrote before that is what really caught my attention. How about those Lakers? And apparently it caught other people's attention as well.
A piece of memorabilia showcasing the late Kobe Bryant's local roots is now on the auction block. It's a yearbook from Ballackinwood Middle School, and it features an inscription from Kobe. He writes to a classmate, "In a few years, you probably will be dunking on me, not? How about those Lakers?" Kobe signed it along with his number 24.
A Kobe Bryant signed yearbook is up for auction, and what Kobe wrote in this yearbook is absolutely awesome. So when the yearbooks got handed out at the end of the year, one of Kobe's friends asked him to sign, and Kobe wrote, "In a few years, you will probably be dunking on me, not. How about those Lakers? Your friend, Kobe Bryant, number 24.
Was he trying to clue us in on something? Or I should say the person he was writing to? It's almost like he was giving him a wink wink, if that makes any sense. Keep in mind, this is a Pennsylvania middle school yearbook, so it must have been pretty random to the friend who read this later on, as if he was even supposed to care about the Lakers. I'll tell you one thing, I'm sure he almost shit himself when he found out 4 years later that Kobe was gonna be a Laker. But seriously, was he just unintentionally prophetic? Or did Kobe somehow already have a hunch of what his future held? Back in 2015, Skip Bayless seemed to know what the Warriors' future held, and this guy appeared to know what the Bucks' future held, commenting this 6 years ago. But let's be honest, throwing something at the wall just to see if it sticks doesn't exactly make you Nostradamus. In fact, nobody really cares if a random fan or TV personality ends up being wrong. But Steph Curry, on the other hand, can't really afford to just throw something out the wall and hope that it sticks. Fans expect that if a player says something, he better back it up and keep his promise. Yes, even if he's just a rookie. You see, the Warriors didn't exactly get off to the best start back in 2009, and on November 11th of 2009, following a 108-94 loss to the Indiana Pacers, Curry knew that the fans were probably not happy, given the fact that their record was 2-5 as a result of that loss, and felt that he had to say something to the fans to ease the pain. This is what he said on Twitter that very night. Quote, "Promise to all the Warrior fans, we will figure this thing out. If it's the last thing we do, we will figure it out." Remember, this was only the 7th game of his NBA career. He wasn't obligated to make any promises, but in his own words, sometimes you just gotta speak into existence.
But I'm going to read this tweet that you sent out back on November 11th of 2009. You tweeted out, "Promise to all Warrior fans, we will figure this thing out. If it's the last thing we do, we will figure it out." Can you really believe the tweet, Steph? Because that's a God mode type of tweet right there. That's an all-timer.
You have to manifest your reality, and sometimes you just have to speak it into existence. And I might not have known what I was talking about at the time, but my best tweet ever.
Do you remember sending that out?
I don't remember where I was. I definitely remember sending it out, though. But that was a good tweet for sure. And it said we, not me.
I think it's safe to say that Curry has delivered on his promise that he made 14 years ago. Call me crazy, but I think they definitely figured it out. Now, if you think that tweet is old, former Warriors guard Jason Richardson predicted something before Curry even donned a Golden State jersey. Just 4 days after Golden State selected Curry in the 2009 NBA draft, Richardson worked out with Steph and saw something special in him, and later on that day just had to share it with Warriors fans. Quote, "Just got done working out with Steph Curry and Brendan Haywood. Golden State fans, he's going to be really good."
And you see this guy playing for Golden State. How long did it take for you to realize, well, this guy's pretty good?
You know what? It didn't take me long. I think a fan pulled up a tweet I had back in 2009 when he got drafted to the Warriors, and we was working out together. It was me, him, and Brendan Haywood, and we was working out with our trainer called, his name is Don Raven. And I sent a tweet out. I said, "Hey, Warrior fans, Stephen Curry is going to be really good." So I knew it right then, back then, the first time I saw with my own eyes coming out of Davidson, the way he just shot the ball in the workout, it was something I'd never seen before.